Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Shruti Sharma.
Hi, my name is Krishnan. Today I'll be doing the Hindi news analysis. These are the 5 articles for the day. Let us go to the first topic. So this topic is about tracing the evolution of space and its related researches and how we have come a long way and what are the things that we are supposed to do in the future. So first we'll see what has happened initially in 1957, launch of Sputnik 1 by USSR, erstwhile USSR. Then in 1961, Yuri Gagarin went to space, and then in 1969, the United States sent Neil Armstrong to moon. And then in 1950 to 99, it's a period of Cold War, which was predominantly dominated by US and USSR sending satellites to the rockets to the space. So what happened? So 60 to 120 space launches and 93 were by USSR and US. But what has happened now? Last year, 180 rocket or space launches, 61 was by Elon Musk's SpaceX. So what they are trying to show here from government related agencies, now it has come to private agencies. So how did India's space agency start? It started in 1960 with the US supplied Apache rocket. This was launched in Tumba, Kerala. But now, what has ISRO become? It has 15,000 employees, and its annual budget is a whopping 12,000 crore to 14,000 crore. And what they have done, they have prioritized societal objectives and benefits. So initially, they did the television experiment. Through this, educational outreach was done for 2,400 villages, which covered close to 5 million people. Next, we had the INSAT series. Then we had the GSAT series, which helped improve the country's telecommunication and broadcasting infrastructure. Later, we had the remote sensing capability. So, with remote sensing capability, what were we able to do? We were able to do weather forecasting, resource mapping, analyzing agricultural needs, how much groundwater is there, where we'll get fishes, urban management, all these things we were able to do. And this led to OceanSat and Cartosat, that is mapping. Later, with the satellite aided navigation, we got Gagan. So, Gagan was uh, Gagan was by ISRO and uh, Airports Authority of India. So this is like a GPS for aircraft. So now we have Navic. In Navic, we'll not even use GPS. We'll use our own global positioning system. So what we are next we are talking about satellite launch vehicle. So this began in the 80s with SLV. So 1990s we had PSLV. So this is the evolution of Indian space related agencies. So what is our space potential? So our second space age started with internet, and then 1990s private TV channels, and then cable. Then we had DTH. Next we had satellite transponders and ground based services. So but initially we had very less only. Now half of the transporters in Indian homes are coming from foreign satellites. So why is this? Because last 15 years mobile phones have come, smartphones, OTT, 5G, all these things have improved India's space related activities. So let us see the economic potential of this space related agency. So global space economy was estimated at $450 billion, but in 2023 it has become $600 billion. So Indian space economy was estimated at $9.6 billion, but now it is 13 billion by 2025. So all these things are okay, but what the author is telling is we need policy, regulatory environment. So it's telling government has not, it has done few things, but we need more. So what is telling, I'll give you certain things. If you follow this, we can easily exceed $60 billion by 2030, and not only that, we can create 2 lakh jobs. So he's telling, see, with all these launches, rocket launch and all we are doing, but the end user revenue, only 1/5 is generated by the government. Media and entertainment, 26%. 1/4 is coming from media and entertainment, and 1/5 is coming from consumer and retail services. So what are the other space related activity? Downstream activities such as satellite services and ground segment are there. So all these things account for 70% of India's space economy. So and there are upstream activities like satellite manufacturing and launch service vehicles. So these are all small things. So what is United Nations Office for Outer Space Surface telling? So 8,261 satellites are there in orbit, out of which 5,000 are active. In 2022 alone, 1,283 satellites were launched. But now you see Starlink, Elon Musk Starlink. So it operates a constellation of over 3,500 satellites and has a million, close to 10 lakh paying customers are there. So you just see Starlink and OneWeb alone have 40,000 satellites each. So how they are doing this? They are doing this through the Project Kuiper, which is a low latency broadband activity. What is low latency means? The response time will be very slow, which means the internet will be very fast. That only low latency. So let us see what we should do here in India. So what and all we should do to create an enabling environment. Uh, so Indian private space sector is already responding to the demands of second space age. 100 startups are there already, and the pace of investment is growing because in 2018 we had $3 million investment. Now it has gone to $65 billion. So the sector is poised to take off, like how the IT did in their 90s. So after 1991, IT sector took off, right? So like this, it will happen. See, ISRO is doing 4 to 5 launches annually. So it manages 53 operational satellites, 21 for communication, 21 for Earth navigation, and 8 for navigation, and the remaining are scientific experiment satellites. ISRO also has Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, Gaganyaan. You know, right? Gaganyaan is sending man to space. So all the space related, space technology related work and all is a very small part of their revenue system. Because earlier they were content as vendors, and they were just producing speculations and defined specifications and designs. But what now is happening is startups are uh, generating this revenue streams. So what the author is telling is startups should have relationship with ISRO and government so that they can get revenue out of all these things, that is space related activities. So why they should have good relationship with ISRO is is operator, user, service provider, licensor, rule maker, incubator for all space related activities. ISRO only. So they are telling ISRO should give all these things to startups and they need to focus on research. So government is also going in this direction only because the draft space activities bill in parliament, it came but it lapsed, but the government is working on this draft space activities bill. So what they are going to do, they are going to commercialize PSLV and SSLV. This NSIL will also replace Antrix. So those things are going to happen. So this and already we are going to have this in space. So through this you get single window clearance. So whatever the private sector want to do in the want to do in the space sector, they'll do this. But right now we are not sure if this is a licensing authority or a regulator. But in the coming times, the government is working on it. We'll know immediately. And we have the Indian Space Association. So all these things are happening in the space related areas. So in recent areas, in recent years, what has happened? A lot of policy makers have come for discussion. Satcom or telecom policy, Earth observation policy, foreign direct investment policy, all these things are there. All these policy papers, committees, government has worked on it. So we need to change all these policies into legislation. So the government is working on it, and they are telling you set up a regulatory body also for space related activity, because after IT this is going to be the next big thing. And since a lot of startups are there, the author is telling you enable a venture capital atmosphere so that startup owners can pull a lot of funds and work on creating a good investment atmosphere. So this is what this article is about. Let us move on to the next topic. This topic talks about artificial intelligence for better and smarter legislation. So in this topic, they are talking about how artificial intelligence can be used for making laws. Laws means LAWS, laws. So you see, artificial intelligence, it is already attracting entrepreneurs, right? And then political leaders also are attracted, policymakers also are attracted, because there's no exemption because of the power of artificial intelligence. But now what is happening, artificial intelligence is being used for legislation and parliamentary procedure also. So you see here how artificial intelligence tool can assist parliamentarians. They can prepare responses for legislators, research quality they can improve, they can get information about any bill, they can prepare briefs, and they can give information about a particular house rule, and drafting a legislation is very difficult, right? They can do that also, and amendments and intervention, all these things they can easily do with artificial intelligence. And it even empowers all the legislators. It empowers the MLAs and MPs. How it gives access to citizens grievances. What are citizens grievances? They can easily get to know through artificial intelligence. What media thinks, what is the voice of citizen centric organization or association, what is the civil society thing, all these things they can easily get. But what are the problems? We do not have a proper law, so we need to codify law. Right now everything related to artificial intelligence opaque, that is, it is not transparent and it is very complex, and there is huge gap between law making, law implementing, and law interpreting organizations. So in India we already have something called as the India Code Portal, but the author is saying we cannot use it as a single source of truth, because we need something that gives 360-degree view. What is this 360-degree view? Let's say there's a law, we should know how did the law come about, what is the source law, what are the subordinate law, which one is the parent law, all those things we need to know, right? Those things are not there in the India Code Portal. So we need something which gives 360-degree view. Why? Because all these things become very important during trying times, because you see what happened in COVID. During COVID times, central government gave some law, state government gave some law, and everything got confused. So they're telling we need a machine with 360-degree view. So this is what the author is telling here. We need law machine, so which will be consumable with a central law engine. So the state law engine and a central law engine, everything will be there together. So this should encompass everything. It should be able to help an entrepreneur, and it should help someone who's looking for welfare schemes also. So is he eligible, what are the documents he's supposed to provide, all these things also this artificial intelligence should tell. So how artificial intelligence can assist legislations? It can analyze citizens grievances, social media response it can analyze, it can flag issues that are very important, and it can prioritize things that need immediate attention. Some things you can do little late, something you should do immediately, right? So it can prioritize things based on urgency. So and it can make citizens come and consult, or you can get citizen consultation through artificial intelligence. So what is happening in the House of Representatives in the US? They are using artificial intelligence tools to automate the process of analyzing differences between bills, amendments, and current laws. So what will happen? This artificial intelligence tool easily it will differentiate bills, amendments, and current laws. So even you see in Netherlands they have something like this. This is called speech to write. So what it will do? It will convert voice to text and voice into written report. So everywhere they're using it basically as Ulysses. So what it does, it supports transparency and citizen participation. So citizen can also be a part of legislation making. So India also we have something like this, and there are few things in process also. What are the things we have? We have one nation one application, and we have national e-Vidhan portal. So all these things we have. So what are the potential effect artificial intelligence can have? It can give you data sets on census, household consumption, what are the different items household is buying, what are the food they are eating, all those things it can give you an idea. Taxpayers, how much they are paying, all those things it can give you an idea. So it has a lot of potential, and it can even flag laws that are outdated. So you see we have a lot of outdated laws, like the epidemic disease like 1987. It failed to address the COVID-19 situation. And see the IPC also, it was who gave it? Macaulay gave it, right? When did he give? He gave it in 1860. So it is outdated. So why it is outdated? Because according to IPC, suicide is a criminal offense, right? But globally we have a lot of changes, and India itself with the mental health bill we have decriminalized suicide. So you see there are a lot of other acts, present registration of books act, public gambling act, patients act. See all these are 100 years old. So we have no changes in all those things yet. So what they are telling? So since COVID-19 led to extra thrust on digitization of services, now where else should focus? We should focus artificial intelligence on law, policy making, parliamentary, activities. Using all those things, we should harness the power of artificial intelligence. With that, we'll get open, transparent, and citizen-friendly usage of artificial intelligence. So the author here is talking about how artificial intelligence can be used for making laws where both legislator and the citizens can benefit. Let us move on to the next topic. This topic is about Parliamentary Standing Committee asking the Agriculture Ministry about having zero insurance coverage for livestock this year. So, what they're telling is livestocks are insured, right? But this year they have not been insured at all. So, the Parliamentary Standing Committee has asked the ministry about this. So, what the ministry has thought about? So, it is thinking about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana like scheme for livestock. So you would have heard about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, right? So Kharif, Zaid, all these crops, they get uh, insurance premium. So no, the premium is very low. So if the crops go waste because of drought or elephant attack, they'll get money. So like that for livestock, the ministry is planning. So Wha- what is in this point what we are telling at present, less than 1% of the country cattle population is, sorry, this is not rare but insured. So right now less than 1% of the country cattle population is insured. So what is the average yearly premium? It is 4.5% of the insured amount. So this is very high, right? So what the animal husband ministry has decided, it has decided to reduce the premium so that many cattle rearers will become a part of this scheme. So already we have something called as the livestock insurance scheme. So we'll have a comprehensive livestock scheme which will replace the pre-existing scheme. So the livestock insurance scheme is functional only in 100 districts in India. So this is a centrally sponsored scheme managed by the state livestock department both. So what are the issues we have here? Farmer is caught between the fight between state livestock department and insurance company. So how much you should pay, what is the premium, and all those things. So what the ministry is doing, it is preferring direct benefit transfer. So we'll have direct benefit transfer so that there will be no middleman. Like that, they have come to a conclusion. And the committee has asked the department to explore the possibility of developing an app-based livestock insurance facility. So with this app itself, you can do whatever you want. So, what are the other reasons for low insurance? High policy premium rate. We saw 4.5, right? It will be 5, like that also will be there. And the economic condition of farmer also is not that much good, right, in our country. So, lower enrollment in schemes. So, what the government has decided is it has decided to give subsidy for premium paid by socially marginalized farmers from SC/ST communities, because these are the most vulnerable, right? For them they're going to give subsidy. So there are why they are doing this is, see, last year also we got something called as lumpy skin disease, which attacked a lot of livestock. So because of the 2 lakh cattle died. So what the central government is feeling is, let us have a minimum premium and maximum coverage, so that if something like lumpy skin disease happens, we can save. I mean, even if the livestock is dead, the farmer will get some amount with which he can continue his livelihood. So, what is the condition in our country right now? Only some exquisite cattle breeds are insured. So, which we should change this. So, what the government is going to do? They are going to reduce the premium, minimize the premium, and maximize the coverage. So, this is what this article is about. Now, let us move on to the next article. So, in this, we are talking about the tiger population. Why is this in news? Because Prime Minister Modi was in Mysore to mark the 50th anniversary of Project Tiger. So India has at least 3,167 tigers. So in 2006 we had 1,411. Now we have 3,167. So this might come as a prelims question. So have a look at this. So the tiger population has grown the most in first Shivalik Hills and Gangerik footplains, then Central India, then Northeast, then only Brahmaputra footplains and suburbans. There's a decline in Western Ghats, so keep this in mind. But major populations were said to be stable, but there's a decline. So decline is in Western Ghats alone. So how did they come to this calculation? Numbers are estimated through camera traps. if the camera traps were not able to identify tigers, or if they missed the tigers, statistical method was used. So 3080 tigers through camera traps itself they were found. How they found? They'll have unique stripes. So with that they found. So how was this computed? So first they'll give a range of estimated tiger population, and the mean value they'll calculate and tell this is the tiger population. So the minimum value was in 2018. See how did they come to this conclusion? Minimum value was 2603 and the maximum value was 3346. So the mean value was 2967. So this is how the data is arrived. So what are the problems that tigers have in these areas? So it is infrastructure threats only. So because of shrinking forests, tigers are coming out of protected areas. So what are the infrastructure threats? Resorts or industries, factories, those things are forcing tigers out of their protected areas. So because of this infrastructure demand, tiger population growth is becoming a problem. So let us see what are the problems. So first thing is habitat encroachment. Next, habitat encroachment means encroachment of places where tigers are staying. Next, illegal hunting of both tigers and their prey, which will obviously lead to human animal conflict. And cattle grazing, so they leave their goats and they'll take their goats and cows to these places, and they'll make them graze. So this is also affecting tigers. And excessive harvesting of non-timber forest produce, so they'll go inside the forest to get lac, honey, all those things are also troubling tigers. And human induced forest fires, because of this tigers will get charred to death. So forest fire also is a problem there. And mining is also a problem. What is being mined? Important minerals are being mined. So because of that also tigers growth is getting impacted. So what we should do, we should have different mining techniques which will lower the impact, and we should rehabilitate the mining sites. So what people generally do is, mine owners, they exploit a mine and they leave it just like that. They leave the mine and go, they'll not rehabilitate it. So they are telling you rehabilitate the mining site. So because the tiger population is increasing, what this article is talking about is, in 1973 we started Project Tiger. Then we had only 9 reserves covering 18,000 square kilometer. Now we have 53 reserves, uh, which is spanning 75,000 square kilometer. This is 2.3% of India's land area. So this is huge, right? See, India has 75% of the world's tiger population, and the conservation model is success. Why? Because we did not use fenced reserves at all. Nowhere the reserves were fenced. But what is happening? Reserves are reaching their carrying capacity. One reserve uh, can have only this much number of tigers, right? If it exceeds, what will happen? They cannot have many tigers there. There will be prey problems. One tiger will not have enough food to eat. So all those problems will come. So we need new regions. And one more good thing has happened. I mean, this is actually not a good thing. In Cambodia, tigers went extinct due to poaching. So India is going to translocate tigers to Cambodia. I mean, this is not a sure thing. Talks are going, but mostly they'll translocate the tigers to Cambodia. Let us move on to the next article. This article is about Sikkim. Uh, Here we are talking about Article 371F. We'll see what it is, but the news article is about the people of Sikkim being hurt because they feel the Article 371F is not being respected. So the former CM has said this. So he's telling, because of Article 371F being violated, there is a lot of political violence. So he's telling we need president rule, then only we can have free and fair election. So what is Article 371F? So only the descendant of Sikkim subjects, that is, before Sikkim merged with India, who and all were Sikkim subjects, whose names were mentioned in the 1965-61 register as Sikkimists. That is, they should have been a part of Sikkim before Sikkim merged with India, and their name should have been mentioned in the 1961 register. So only these people get rights to own land. They only get state government jobs, and they only are exempted from paying income tax. So this is 371F. So you keep this in mind. So, but what happened recently? Financial Bill 2023 redefines who Sikkimis are. So they are telling any citizen domiciled in Sikkim. So anyone from any part of the country can go and settle there, right? So the Sikkimis are not liking it. So what this bill says, the government is going to extend whatever benefits Sikkimis have to whatever benefits original inhabitants of Sikkim have. They'll give that benefit to anyone from any part of India going and settling in Sikkim. So the people of Sikkim are angry with this because this violates Article 371F, based on which Sikkim joined India in 1975. So why people are scared? Because they are thinking there will be a democratic shift, and they are scared because the people from other parts of the country will come and take their land rights. So, but what the finance minister has said, she said this amendment is only related to income tax exemption. Original definition of who Sikkim is will always be respected. We are only telling everybody from Sikkim should pay income tax, but other areas we have not touched, so don't worry. So this is what this article is about. In this, you should know what Article 371F is, and just have a look at this. So you should know the borders of Sikkim. So here if we have Tibet, which is a part of China, here Nepal, here West Bengal, you have Darjeeling here. This is the northernmost part of West Bengal, which is Darjeeling, and here you have Bhutan. So just by her this map. So this is what this article is about. So and you just pause the video for a second or take a screenshot of it, and by heart all these places, 371 A, B, C, D, all these things. Right now we saw 371 F, right, which is for Sikkim. Like that we have for other states also. Most importantly, we have for states like Nagaland and all, which is in the news quite often. So you buy her these places. So just pass and buy her these places. This is very important. Special provisions for different states in India. So let us go to the previous year question. So here we have talked about sixth mark. So they are asking the term sixth mass extinction, which is in the news, talks about what? So this is a very easy question. It talks about mankind's exploitation and misuse of natural resources, fragmentation or loss of natural habitat, destruction of ecosystem, pollution, and global climate change. So the answer is option D. So the question is, what is sixth mass extinction? You read the options, and you'll easily know the answer is option D. So what is carbon fertilization? This is also a very easy question. This is a sitter. So if you read the options itself, you'll know carbon fertilization. This generally means increased plant growth due to increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this is the right answer. Let us move on to the next question. So this is a very interesting question. So I'll read this. When the alarm of your smartphone rings in the morning, you wake up and you tap it to stop the alarm, which causes your geyser to be switched on automatically. The smart mirror in your bathroom shows the day's weather and also indicates the level of water in your overhead tank. After you take some groceries from your refrigerator for making breakfast, it recognizes the shortage of stock in it and places an order for the supply of fresh grocery items. When you step out of your house and lock the door, all lights, fans, geysers, and AC machines get switched off automatically. On your way to office, your car warns you about traffic congestion ahead and suggests an alternative route. And if you're late for a meeting, it sends a message to your office accordingly. So, in the context of emerging communication technology, which one of the following terms best applies to the above scenario? So, this is a sitter, right? This is a very easy question. So, the answer is, uh, what is the answer? Did you guess it? So, the answer is Internet of Things. Option B is the right answer. So, match the following. What is built to experiment? Do you have any idea about it? What is blockchain technology? That you know for sure it is blockchain technology. You know for sure it is digital cryptocurrency. So, this one is right. CRISPR-Cas9, have you heard of it? This is in news always. This is a gene editing tool. So, if you know option 3 is wrong, you'll obviously come to option B, which is 2 only. So, only this is right, other two are wrong. So that's all for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, also on Facebook. If you like this video, you can comment, subscribe, share, and you can also like the video. So thanks for tuning in. I'll meet you again.